The Zephyrian High Command had made their calculations with cold precision. Earth's primitive technology, scattered governments, and constant internal conflicts painted a picture of easy conquest. Their massive dreadnoughts descended through Earth's atmosphere like metallic storms, casting shadows over major cities worldwide. The invasion had begun. Commander Vextar stood on the bridge of the flagship Dominion's edge, watching the blue-green planet spin beneath them. "A single rotation of their world and this will be over," he announced to his officers. "Their weapons are crude, their unity non-existent. We shall claim their resources and add another trophy to the galactic empire." What the Zephyrians hadn't accounted for was the fundamental nature of humanity itself. Dr. Liza Chen pressed her face against the reinforced glass of the underground research facility in Colorado. Above, the alien ships hovered like mechanical vultures. Around her, panicked, scientists and military personnel scrambled to coordinate a response. The initial attacks had been devastating. Sydney, Mumbai, and São Paulo had fallen within hours. "The electromagnetic pulses from their weapons are unlike anything we've seen," she told General Morrison over the comm. "But they're following predictable patterns. They're treating this like a standard planetary subjugation." "What are you thinking, Doctor?" Morrison's voice crackled through the speakers. Liza's mind raced. She had spent her career studying human behavioral psychology and evolutionary biology. While others saw Earth's chaotic nature as a weakness, she recognized it as humanity's greatest strength. "They don't understand what they're fighting, General. They see our divisions, our wars, our conflicts, and think we're weak. They don't realize those same traits made us the apex predator of our world." Meanwhile, in the ruins of downtown Seattle, Lieutenant James Rodriguez crouched behind the wreckage of an overturned bus. His squad had been decimated in the first wave, but he wasn't retreating. Instead, he was learning. Every blast from the alien weapons, every movement of their ground forces, every tactical decision they made, he absorbed it all. The Zephyrian soldiers moved with mechanical precision, following protocols designed for conquering civilized species who surrendered when overwhelmed. They had never encountered a species that became more dangerous when cornered. James spotted a pattern. The aliens' armor was impenetrable from the front, but when they turned to scan for threats, there was a brief gap where the neck joint flexed. It would take perfect timing, a steady hand, and the kind of desperate ingenuity that only came from having nothing left to lose. He struck. The alien warrior fell, and James claimed his first trophy, a plasma rifle that hummed with alien energy. Within hours, he had figured out how to modify its power settings and taught 3 other survivors to do the same. This scene was repeating across the globe. In Tokyo, a group of mechanics were reverse engineering downed alien aircraft. In Cairo, archaeologists were using ancient tunnel systems to launch guerrilla attacks. In London, mathematicians were cracking alien communication codes using principles they'd learned from studying human languages. The Zephyrians had expected submission. Instead, they got adaptation. Dr. Chen's breakthrough came 72 hours into the invasion. She had been analyzing the aliens' tactical responses and realized they were following standard Imperial doctrine, the same strategies that had conquered 43 worlds before Earth. But those worlds had been populated by species that valued order, hierarchy, and predictable social structures. Humans were chaos incarnate. "General Morrison," she broadcast on all military frequencies, "I need you to coordinate the most insane plan in military history. We're going to use our greatest weakness as our greatest weapon." What followed defied every rule of conventional warfare. Instead of mounting a coordinated defense, human forces began operating in completely unpredictable patterns. Military units abandoned their chains of command and began making independent tactical decisions. Scientists shared their discoveries freely across all networks, creating a real-time evolution of anti-alien technology. Civilians began incorporating alien tech into everyday objects, creating weapons and tools the Zephyrians couldn't predict or counter. Lieutenant Rodriguez, now leading a band of 60 survivors armed with modified alien weapons, struck at supply convoys using tactics that made no strategic sense. and were therefore impossible to anticipate. They attacked at dawn, on Monday midnight, on Wednesday noon, on Friday. Sometimes they held territory, sometimes they immediately abandoned it. The Zephyrian AI systems couldn't establish patterns because there were none. Dr. Chen watched the global situation reports with growing excitement. Humanity wasn't winning through superior technology or numbers. They were winning through sheer, magnificent unpredictability. Commander Vextar stood in his command center, studying reports that made no sense. Human forces had somehow increased their technological capabilities by centuries in just 1 week. Worse, they were developing new technologies faster than his. Analysts could catalog them. Every time his forces adapted to a human tactic, the humans had already moved on to something completely different. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "they're using our own weapons against us, but they've modified them in ways our engineers say are impossible." "How is a primitive species outpacing our technological development?" Vextar demanded. The answer came from an unexpected source: a human transmission, broadcast on all frequencies simultaneously. Dr. Chen's voice filled every Zephyrian ship. "You made one critical error in your calculations," she said. "You assumed that our conflicts made us weak. You saw our wars, our disagreements, our chaos, and thought it meant we were inferior. But every human conflict taught us to adapt, to overcome, to survive against impossible odds. Every war we fought against each other made us better warriors. Every problem we solved made us better problem solvers." James Rodriguez, now commanding a fleet of jury-rigged human-alien hybrid aircraft, led the final assault on the Zephyrian flagship. His ships were patchworks of human ingenuity and alien technology, held together by determination and sheer audacity. "Every species you conquered before us was civilized." Chen's transmission continued. "They fought by rules. They had orders, hierarchies, predictable responses. But humans? We're barely controlled chaos. We're predators who learn to cooperate just enough to reach the stars, but wild enough to tear apart anyone who threatens our world." The battle was over within hours. The Zephyrian Empire, which had conquered nearly 50 worlds, was defeated by a species they had dismissed as primitive. As the alien ships fled Earth's orbit, Dr. Chen and Lieutenant Rodriguez met for the first time at the victory celebration. They looked up at the stars, knowing that word of Earth's victory would spread throughout the galaxy. "Think they'll be back?" James asked. Liza smiled grimly. "Let them come. They'll find we've gotten even more unpredictable." The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson: never declare war on a species that had spent millennia fighting itself. Because, when humanity finally turned that warrior spirit outward, there was no force in the universe that could predict or stop what they would become.